Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Andrea Koput.
Hello, my friends and future millionaires. Andrea here with your episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. Today, we're going to call out to your CTA, and that's what we are exactly going to do. You are going to call out to your CTA and ask yourself, first off, do you remember what that is? We've been through this. Your CTA is the most important thing on your page, and every single bit of content has one. This is your call to action. And how are you bringing attention to this call to action? This is the step in the chain that takes people from one place to another. It's absolutely crucial and critical that you call out to it. What does that mean? That you differentiate that simple step, that simple piece in your content, whatever it is, and make it different, make it stand out. Bold it, italicize it. There's so many ways that we've been doing this for a long time. And I want to bring up to you the most common CTA that everybody sees on a daily basis almost. If they're digital, we see this CTA every day, and we probably don't even realize it is one because we're so used to it and it stands out subtly. Ask yourself, why are hyperlinks, those little bits of text in an email, in a copy, in a something, a different color than other text? Why is that link, that click-through link, a different color? These are passive CTAs, call to actions. This is a passive identifier that elegantly demands your engagement. That's what a proper CTA does, elegantly demands your engagement. Every content should have a defined call to action. And depending on what type of content you're building, emails, blogs, content, have CTAs, a next step in the chain. This brings a person, a customer, a client, a follower along on the journey. It continues the process. Otherwise, you're developing content, which is great for enjoyment, but with no discernible next step. People enjoy it, they put it down, and their journey with you is over. That's a real good way to develop good content, but not to make the conversions, not to make the sales. So your call to action must and has to stand out from every other element on your page, on your store, your blog, your email, your piece of work you've built. Your CTA has to be different. Different color, different text, different font, different formatting. These are different options. And it has to stand out. As I brought up in the very beginning of this piece, the hyperlinks we've been reading in emails for the last 10, 15 years have always subtly stuck out. The reference links to pieces of content that went to another place, they always stuck out. These were passive call to actions. We, as marketers, don't want to be so passive all the time. Does that make sense? Of course it does. We want our content, our call to actions to stick out. If we are selling something, we want them to clearly know exactly what it is we want them to do. What do you click to go to the next step? Your buy button, example, should stick out and be a different color than anything else in your page. Your buy button should be a color that is not found anywhere else. Look at some of your favorite retail shops. Look at some of those online. Their buy buttons stick out. They're larger. They're a different color. They're a different font. Every place does it a little different, but every CTA should do the same purpose. Making the money. Call out to your CTA. Make sure it stands out, and then you will see and reap the rewards. This is Andrea with your episode of the Money Wheel Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.